Sometimes people set up automatic deposits and automatic payments to and from their bank account. In that case, you might want QuickBooks to record them automatically. That's why I am now presenting video 18 in our Home Finance series, Memorizing Transactions. There are two ways to memorize a transaction in QuickBooks. You could have QuickBooks remind you to memorize the transaction. In that case, you would use the same reminders window that we learned about in the previous video. You would also set the number of days in advance that it would remind you. You could also tell QuickBooks to automatically record the transaction for you if you know for sure these events will happen. You can control when it gets entered, and it will tell you when a memorized transaction has been entered when the file opens. So, let's take a look at our first example. The 25th of every month, you set up your M&T Bank account to automatically transfer $100 from M&T Bank to your Chase Bank account. You have to record the first month yourself. We will record the prior month, May 25th transfer, because I'm recording this video during June of 2016. So once we record the May 25th, that's the one we will use to tell QuickBooks this is the transaction to memorize and to do every month. Now you have a choice of recording this in either the M&T Bank register or the Chase Bank register. Let's record it in the Chase Bank register as a deposit to Chase Bank. We would put the date. In this case, we have to go back to May 25th. In the number field, we would put whatever transaction number M&T or Chase assigned when you looked at the transfer online. Now, there does not have to be an individual involved in this transaction, but you might want to put Joe because Joe is paying himself. However, in the account field, you must make sure to choose M&T Bank. That's because the money is coming in to the Chase Bank from the M&T Bank. And we are in the Chase Bank register, so in the Chase Bank register, we put how the transaction relates to Chase. In this case, for the Chase Bank, it is a deposit of $100. Now, after we click record, we have to click back onto the transaction. By the way, in your case, it might have jumped up high, but I have my register set for order entered. So as soon as I recorded it, it didn't jump all the way up to the top. It stayed here. Click right on the transaction, and from the top left of the main menu, click Edit, Memorize Deposit. When you open the Memorize Transaction window, you get asked the important questions about how you want QuickBooks to provide this service for you. In our example, we will add it to the reminder list, and we will ask QuickBooks to remind us monthly. We click OK to close the Memorize Transaction window, close Chase Bank. Now let's open up the reminder list that we learned about before. Company, Reminders. Now notice, here we have on the left side, Memorize Transactions. I'm recording this video today, Sunday, June 19th. And as you can see, something that we recorded in May, that we told QuickBooks to remind us once a month, QuickBooks is reminding me today. Now, the good thing about anything on the reminder list is that you can set the number of days in advance you want to be reminded. This would be done in the Preferences window. From the main menu, you would click Edit, Preferences. Then you would click on the category of Reminders. After you choose Reminders, go to the top right and click Company Preference. All these other reminders are for people who are using QuickBooks for normal business. We are only using the Memorize Transactions feature, and we want to tell QuickBooks how many days in advance we want to be warned. Example 2. the 19th of every month, we automatically pay AT&T $150 for our monthly phone bill from M&T Bank. We will record the first one with transaction number 12345, and we will record it on May 19th. This way, the first time QuickBooks records it without us will be June 19th. And we want QuickBooks, of course, to record this automatically. Let's take a look. We open the M&T register from the icon bar, and we're going to put the May 19th transaction. So on May 19, we had an automatic online payment to AT&T with 12345 as the transaction number. AT&T is the vendor whom we paid. The reason we paid is for telephone, and the amount we paid was $150. So that's, not 160, 150. So that's easy enough to record, and we click record. We learned that before. Now that this is recorded, by the way, I kept my register in order entered so that when I recorded this, it didn't jump all the way to the top. If you're following along with me and recording this step by step, and you have it sorted by date, then anything you put in May is going to jump all the way up to the top. But I left it here by clicking order entered. Now I'm going to click right back on the line, and from the main menu, click Edit, Memorize, Check. Now, even though it's not a check, we learned before that any reduction to a bank account, QuickBooks calls a check, even if you're not really writing a check. Now, this is the same Memorize transaction window that they had a minute ago. But instead of just reminding us every 19th of the month, we want QuickBooks to automatically enter it on the 19th of the month. How often? We want it entered monthly. And then the next date is today, June 19th. Okay? How many number remaining and days in advance to enter? Well, this limits how many times QuickBooks will do it, and you could put however many automatic payments you want, and this tells you how many days in advance you would want QuickBooks to enter it if you do it monthly, and the first one was on May 19th, making the next date June 19th. Just click OK, and you will see QuickBooks will automatically enter this transaction because today is June 19th. I will close the QuickBooks file, and I will wait a moment. Now I will reopen the QuickBooks file, and you will see as soon as the file is open, we will get a message telling us, aha! QuickBooks has automatically entered this memorized transaction, and now we click Enter Checked Now, which means QuickBooks is telling you at the minute you start the file, on the day it's supposed to be recorded, it's giving you a list of every transaction you wanted it to automatically record today. All you have to do is click Enter Checked Now, which means whichever ones are checked off you want it to enter now, boom, and there it is. QuickBooks has automatically entered one memorized transaction. Click OK. How can you check if it did it? Well, you can click the M&T register, and you can see June 19th, telephone expense, $150. So that's how you know it was entered, because we only entered the May 19th transaction. You can change or remove any of the memorized transactions that you put into QuickBooks by using this window, the Memorize Transaction List. From the main menu, click List, Memorize Transaction List. If we expand the window a little, you can see these are the two memorized transactions that we recorded during this video. If you choose one of the items that you chose to memorize, and then go to the bottom left and click Edit Memorize Transaction, you come back to the window that you originally told QuickBooks to use to record this transaction and memorize it. You can change any of the properties or attributes right here. Cancel. What if we click on this one? Again, after you select it, go to the bottom left, Edit, Memorized, and you could change any property or attribute you want. If you double-click, you actually see the check that's going to be entered the next time it gets recorded. And of course, if it's a deposit, you can double-click and see the deposit that'll get recorded the next time the transaction runs.